Yo, what's up? It's Andres, and I just want to take a brief second before the podcast episode begins to say thank you. I'm so extremely grateful to be able to do this, to be able to talk to these amazing people, and for you guys to listen. A quick thank you to all my friends and family who have continued to share it, to post it. It really does mean a lot to me. This is something that I can see myself doing for a long time and building off of, and I really see a lot in the future for this. So thank you. I'm just extremely grateful. But yeah, that's it. Thank you so much. Enjoy the episode. On this episode of Hustle Culture, we talk to Abraham. Abraham is a custom clothier out of Dallas, Texas, but you wouldn't believe it if you followed him on Instagram because he's in every state, every country, all the time. He travels and he custom designs suits and high fashion wear for people all over the world. Now, if you're into fashion, if you're into the business and the industry that goes along with it, I think this episode is for you. If you don't like fashion too much and you're like myself where we like to look good, but it's not our passion, I think you're still going to get some really good stuff out of here when we talk about mindsets on how to start your own business and, why you should start your own business. We touch on why you should be passionate about what you do and a lot of other topics here. I think this is a great episode. I love Abraham. He's amazing. He has a big, real passion for what he does. So I hope you get at least a fraction of the value that I got talking to Abraham in person through this podcast. Enjoy. All right, welcome to Hustle Culture, man.
Thank you, my man.
Dude, I'm excited you're here. Now, I want to let the people know, because if they don't know, they'll probably, if they're watching this, they'll see how you look right now and how I look, and they'll be like, okay, clearly this guy knows what he's doing. If you're watching the video, you'll see that we have 2 pairs of amazing shoes. We'll go into that a little later, but this is all part of your business called Bram's Touch, and I want to learn more about that. But Abraham, thank you for being here, man.
Thank you so much for having me, my man. Love to be around you, brother. Always a good vibe. And thanks for you and your team to invite me today, man.
Dude, it's an honor. It's an honor to have you be a part.
It's an honor for me, man.
Dude. Well, let's just get right into it, man. I really, the way we met through Calvary, right?
Correct.
So we talked, we exchanged information, and then I did a photo shoot for you and for your brand. And then ever since, I've kind of seen you on Instagram and seen what you're doing. You're doing shoes. If you don't know what he does with the intro, which I explained everything there, but Abraham right here, he's a tailor. He makes suits. He custom makes stuff. I don't want to speak for him because I know there's a lot more to what you do, and that's why I want to talk to you and see what you do.
Correct.
Now you make shoes.
Correct.
He's just an all-out, you look great every day. I don't know how you do it. Correct. That's facts. But man, how'd you get into, suit making and tailoring and all that good stuff?
So it's a long story, but I will sum up by one word: is passion. So I always been passionate about it, and I always dreamed about something different, right? So I started dressing up when I was super young.
Yeah.
And I would have folks. I'm talking about my dad, people from my family, my close friends always ask me for advice when it comes to how to put together outfits, right? Wow. It was street style back in the days. It was every single thing, right? And I always have a mind to put outfits together easily. That's how everything started, right? And then I moved to now having a passion for it, right? And I always, one of my big addiction is I'm big on shopping.
Wow.
I'm talking about I'll shop more than a lot of women. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think you can outshop my wife.
Yeah.
But go ahead. No.
So at some point it becomes too much. So I was thinking when I moved in America in December 2013.
Wow.
To live here. So when I moved here, I was I did 3 years of law school. So my goal was to be a lawyer.
Wow.
When I moved here, I was trying to go to law school, and then I ended up being in a position where I needed to get a bachelor here and then go to law school.
Yeah.
Now everything starts switching, right?
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
as you know, God gave us passion, gift,
Right.
and talent. You need to pick now which one is the one can, like, you can see something different in it, which
Yeah.
was like this business right here, right? It started just pretty quick. Like, I was putting outfits together, and then at some points, I was going to shop for a lot of like salon, a lot of atelier. But when I would buy a suit, I would see something that's missing. And it was in a season where I transitioned now to have my personal style, my personal taste, which was like being in a suit.
Yeah.
I wasn't working corporates, none of that. I was just comfortable wearing the suits, right?
Yeah.
Now I started like looking for salon, but I was seeing a lot of things missing. It was a lot of tweak that I was seeing, a lot of little mistakes. I decided to jump myself out there. And that's how everything started. And plus, it was the demands too. I had a lot of people on my Instagram asking me, Abraham, where did you get your suits? Who buy your suits? Make a suit. And I'm like, oh, I did make my suits. I did. That's how everything started.
That's got to be a crazy
Yes.
conversation, dude. And the whole story from the beginning. So you started just helping your friends and family how to dress.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So you said you moved here in 2013. Where are you from? Where did you originate?
So my roots is like kind of complicated. So I was born in Paris, France.
Wow.
Yeah, but I'm originally from the Congo, which is in Central Africa.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I moved from the Congo to come now live here in 2013.
Yeah.
So like December 2013.
So you were born in Paris. You were born for fashion.
Correct, correct. So that's how I always say. And the thing is like, so Paris has this big influence on me, but at the same time, the Congo has a big one on me. Because I don't know if you heard about the sapeur, about sapology. It's like a old culture about like how people love to dress, how the Dundee is in Africa.
Wow.
And it's mainly based in Central Africa. So in the Congo is a big thing, bro. In my mom's side of the family, I grew up with seeing my uncle dressing up, being happy about it, So it was something that was always inside me, but I never really like, it never really dawned on me. Like till after time, I realized like, this is something that I really see myself doing for the rest of my life.
That's awesome. So both parts of your identity were big on fashion.
Correct.
Big influence from Congo, from Paris. That's so cool. That's awesome. That something I like talking about and thinking about is the whole, nature versus nurture thing. Like, what are you born to do, and then what shapes you into who you are. So I think it's really cool that because of those influences, you just became who you are.
Correct.
But what was the conversations like when one of my favorite things hearing about in stories is when people really start their business.
Okay.
And they start. You've been doing it for how long now?
Now we're going to the third year.
Third year.
So it's been like since 2019.
Of Bram's Touch.
But
you've been styling and doing all of that for forever. Okay.
Forever, yeah.
Dude, so when you start your own business, what was that conversation like when somebody asked you? Because suit making is like, it's not distressing jeans. It's not making t-shirts.
Yeah.
It's a craft. It's something that's like an acquired thing,
Yeah.
and you really have to like learn it and get into it.
Yeah.
So what was their reaction like when you're like, oh, I made this suit? Because
Yes.
I would be like, what the? You make suits? How'd that go?
So to be honest with you, like there is like something about it. Like on my hands, the first time I say that, I kind of felt like Superman at that point. I'm like, because I can see people's reaction, the face. So I'm like, what are you talking about? You make a suit? And then when I start seeing, like showing them all the little details, they go crazy. That's one thing. And another thing is like, they always put that in the box where it's like, people always, which is true, right?
Yeah.
The suits when it started was like handmade bespoke suit. It was super expensive. It was for king,
Right.
prince, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And people always have the impression till this day where when you talk about suits, it's like expensive. It's like, oh, you're making suits. You talk about like something serious, right? And then like it was like the reaction of people were always amazed, and it kind of built me up like to like push me again to dive in my craft, like to learn more, to start working more.
Yeah.
That's one thing that it always like keep me like because I always face people who get like curious about what I do,
Right.
and I love to answer a question because people ask you questions, they want to know more,
Yeah.
and at the same time you spread the good news, you spread the gospel of suiting, man.
Dude, that's how it goes, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So you going into it, because you said you knew clothes from a young age, but when did you start seeing that like shift? Because the passion was there since you were little. When did you see it like, oh, I can do this as a business? Because we all have passions. We all have things that we love to do. I love taking photos of my friends. I learned, oh wow, I can actually, people get paid for this. That same thing with video. When YouTube started, that was my story a little bit, right? I saw other people doing it. I was like, oh, it's not just a hobby. It can actually be a career choice. For you, when was the moment when you were like, I'm actually going to take this seriously and I'm going to build something off of this and I'm going to make it. And maybe it's not even, maybe it is, maybe it's not, but as you were growing up, what was that defining moment that told you, oh, this is what I need to do, and I can actually do this for a living?
Okay, so the moments everything started like as a game. First of all, the moments was the moment when I found my niche. Like, cause the clothing area is like so big, right?
Right.
It's huge. There is street style, there is suiting, there is so many things, right? The moment I decide I wanted to dress personally, I wanted to be approached personally, that's the moment everything started like being clear. When I decide to be in a suit and tie, because usually that's how I am. Today I'm just like more comfortable today, because I knew I'm gonna be like
this is you comfortable. This is you comfortable.
Faces here, right? You know what I'm saying? So everything started like that, and then when I found my niche, and then everything transitioned to the point where, like as I told you, I was in a position where all my life I thought I'd be a lawyer.
Right.
You know, I thought I'd be a lawyer, and I was like, it was either I was like deep in my studies doing law, and I was doing ministry on the other side, right?
Wow.
So now when I was thinking about both stuff, I didn't have like a plan of something that I'm gonna do continuously. You know what I'm saying? But I think like law was my option, but it become like it started failing at some point. I was like, I don't really see myself doing that. It was something maybe because I was young. At the same time, I had a big influence because my dad is a lawyer. I am in the family full of politicians and lawyer.
Wow.
But I didn't have something else, right? Now when it comes to ministry, I know it's an everyday thing. But there is something that was missing. That's the moments now. I start drafting, I start dreaming about it. And it's the same thing as you say, you mentioned something, you say when you start doing photo, you realize, oh, people pay me for this thing, you know? So one time I had a conversation with this dude that I met. I was just talking with him, and coming, if I go back a little bit, in my background, coming where I'm from, in my originally, you don't get like very good money being a tailor. You know what I'm saying? There is like amazing tailor. I know some tailor that blinds. I'm talking about somebody blind, but they make clothing. I'm serious.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm planning to go, when I go back home like this year, I'm planning to go back home this year. I'm gonna make like an old video about this guy.
Dude, you should. I want the link, because that sounds amazing.
Yeah, so there is things like that, but people never get the credit for that. They never get the good money for that. So that was one of my motivation. I was like, hold on, I love this thing. Can I jump and do that? Am I really gonna make good money? And I met this guy, right? This guy is a stylist, he's a style NFL player, NBA player, blah, blah, blah. Talking to this guy, he started explaining to me that he get paid for styling people. I'm like, hold on. You mean to tell me what I've been doing all my life? You getting bread, doing the same exact thing. You better be kidding me right now. He's like, oh, Abraham, I'm super serious. Right here, start showing me things, right? That's the moment everything start moving.
Wow.
Now I check on my Instagram. I had like, I'm talking about a lot of people. You know, on Instagram, you can check like how many people follow you, what's like part of people. And I realized the majority of people who's following me, it was either ministry, either fashion. And in the fashion sphere, it was a bunch of people. They just ask me questions. Now I start going to my comments, seeing people ask me questions about suits, seeing people ask me how to, so that's the moment everything started.
Right.
And I started I just put out there like, okay, it was 2019. I just put out there, I'm like, I'm preparing a collection of suits, a collection of design. If you guys interested, just hit me up.
Dude, and if you don't, like, at that moment when you decided I can actually get paid for this, I can do this. Yeah. What was something that I'm very interested in, since we live in the social media age?
Yes.
That's like a metric now. And I don't, you know, for me, I wish it wasn't. You know, I like being able to just have conversations, and even through social media have connections, but the amount of followers you have, the amount of engagement, it's impactful. So what was your audience like when you decided you were going to drop a collection? Because I kind of see that, and even for hustle culture, I want to eventually do a clothing line, but I feel like I don't really have enough people to do it, right? That's kind of a struggle I'm seeing.
I do,
But for you, what was your audience like when you decided, oh, you know what, I'm gonna release this collection? Did that matter to you? Like, how many people were looking at it? Like, what was that like? Yo, quick ad from none other than Trinity Tags Content Creation. Okay, if I'm gonna start sponsoring this podcast, it's gonna be with my stuff. All right, so if you're listening to this, you're most likely a business owner, and you're probably trying to get more clients, more customers, more everything. Well, one of the best ways to do that is with good, effective advertising. And hey, I happen to own an advertising agency that can help you in your business exactly with that. So yeah, if you're interested in that, if this sounds great to you, go ahead and go to trinitytagscc.com. There you can see some of our most recent videos. We don't have any graphic design work or any photography work on there yet, but we do have a lead photographer. I am a graphic designer. We do that as well, but we specialize in commercial videography. So if any of that sounds good to you, head on over there, check out what we got, and then hit that contact page and let us know what you need. But hey, I would love to work for your business and get you guys where you guys need to be, making money. All right, let's go back to the show.
So the thing is, I always tell people this thing, right? The reality is, you have people looking at you, believe it or not. If we take the word influencer, right? Don't really get stuck to the fact that social media call you influencer because you have a certain number of followers, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people, they're looking at you, they're doing the same thing you're doing. They really get impacted by what you're doing without saying a word. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes there is 1, 2, 3. So in my brain, when I started, all I needed is like 3 faithful people.
Wow.
That's gonna buy 1 suit from me. That's all I needed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All I needed was 3 faithful people. You know why? Because look what happened. When you have 3 people, right? You work with them. When you do a good job with 3 people, believe me, every person you do the job with gonna bring 2 more people, 3 more people.
I see.
5 more people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when you do a bad job, they're gonna tell it to 10 people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they're gonna go
yeah,
ahead and tell
yeah.
it to the double. That's how it works in
real.
society. So you just
Yeah.
need to make sure you get a certain number of people, you focus on them. If they believe in you, they believe in your business, because think about it, how many suit houses are out there?
Right.
You know, you're in the marketing sphere, how many like marketing houses out there? So if they believe in you, then they see something different about you.
Right.
That's the moment you slide and you do your best job. And your job always gonna speak louder. And obviously, I'm a big believer. I know the grace will always open doors for me when it comes to that. That's what happened. I had like literally somebody who believed in me. Like this guy that I knew, he buy a suit for me. Another one of my friend, Lowe's, shout out to him. This guy is a gospel singer back in Africa, super good dude, a pastor.
Yeah.
He believed in me. He asked, he's like, I want to be your first client. He put his money out there.
Wow.
And the next thing I know is like a lot of people reaching out. Yeah.
So you don't, because I think that's a myth people believe in, even me, you know.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for a minute, so I'm understanding what you're saying, the word of mouth thing, and that's true. But even still, you kind of, I think it's a way of procrastination when you say, well, I can't do it until this. And even I you know, with this, I have like this sheet, and it's like, okay, when I get to 25 episodes, that's when I'll do this. When I get to 50 episodes, that's when I'll do this on top of it. Like investing and stuff too. It's the same thing. It's like, okay, well, I don't want to commit to something full until I have this. But you're saying, no. All you need is 3 faithful people who really care about what you're doing.
Yes.
And that's all it takes. And then if you do a great job, it'll pop off. If you don't, you'll learn and you'll be like, okay, well, now this next thing, I'll do it in this way or whatever.
Exactly. That's how it happened. All you need is those people. You know, like it's like you like sports, right?
Yeah.
When you look at soccer, all you need is 11 players to change the game, right? You're gonna bring people in, but you just need this 11 right now to change the game, to bring you the World Cup. You know what I'm saying? You don't need more. You can buy more, you can get more transfer, but you just need the one you have. That's what people don't understand. The fear gonna be there eventually. I was super scared because I was like, hold on, I'm in a position where I literally like gonna be focused on this thing, and my dream is to do that full time. This is a serious matter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Obviously, you have a business. When you have a business, you believe in yourself. You take a risk in yourself. And guess what? People around you ain't going to believe in you.
Yeah.
You're going to be yourself facing all this dilemma, right?
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that I work on it hard. And eventually, I put myself in a position to be with people who in my industry, you know, young entrepreneur, you know, like small business owner, just to be around them, to listen to the story, to grow with them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's another thing that I'm going to open little parentheses for people who trying to start business. One thing you need to know, when you start a business, don't really look for mentor who already made it big. Look for somebody who's still on the grounds.
Wow.
Look at the person, work with the person, observe the person, listen to the person. That's going to help you better than looking for people who already made it name big.
Is that how you found that was that first person you were talking about?
So in my story personally, I had 3 people that I was looking into what they were doing. They do the same exact thing that I'm doing, right? 3 people.
Yeah.
I have 1, it was outside of the country. I had 2, they were here. Small business owner. I observed what they were doing. I observed everything. I mean, I'm talking about like a lot of people do what I'm doing, right?
Yeah.
But people was doing the right way. Because there is people now who do business just for the money and just for the wave. What's going on right now in 2021.
Trust me,
There
in
are
the marketing
people who do
space, everybody's doing
everybody
it like
wake up to that like, I want to be a gamer.
Oh,
I'm gonna do that for
bro.
the rest of my life. I want to be doing. You know what I'm saying? They don't like. But the thing is, like, I'll check for people who not just doing for whatever they're doing. I don't know the personal reason, but people who had passion doing that thing. People who know even if today my business is down low, like the COVID showed us. You know what I'm saying? Because that's another
real.
story. I started my business in the midst of the pandemic. My big release was in the midst of the pandemic. So I was around this kind of people and I learned from them. And shout out to my guy, Jacob Clayton. That's one of my guys, super good friend of mine.
Yeah.
He was one of the guys, he told me, it's like, Abraham, you know what, the first fabric swatches that I used, it was for this guy. He's like, I see what you're doing. I love what you're doing. We were like on social media for a long time. He's like, just roll with me, observe what I'm doing, use my stuff, whatever you want to fly. Yeah, and I was with him like for 2 months. The
That's
next
so
thing
awesome.
you know, yeah, that's how
amazing.
it works.
That's amazing. So you had 3 mentors total.
No, I just have one mentor. That was just like friends.
people
It was
that
just friends when it impacted
you.
me in that. You know what I'm
Who
saying?
impacted you.
Yeah, it's like not really like mentor like this. People really impacted me in a
Yeah.
specific sphere. Yeah,
I get you.
and that's what I'm saying. Like it's always important to be with people that make it big. You know, you
yeah.
just run them to learn something because there is always a movement. There is always something you
Yeah.
can take that way. Yeah,
And that's such an important thing, because in the business world, that, you know, networking and all these things,
Correct.
people are always like, you need to find a mentor. You need to find this. And from my personal experience, I've had one mentor.
Yeah.
And that was Pastor Vincent. That
Yeah.
was my mentor, and that was like my life mentor.
Yes,
You know what I
yes.
mean? That was my mentor. But I had probably 8 to 12 people who I considered mentors, but in the way you're explaining it, that's
Yeah.
exactly how it was. Just people who really impacted me for
Yeah.
a short amount of time, and we're still friends to this day, but wasn't necessarily a mentorship. And I think for anyone who's listening to this and wants to follow a career path or start a business or something, that's 1,000,000% true. Like, people are saying you need to get a mentor. You don't need, you know, I don't think you, obviously everyone needs someone to look up to, but as long as you're surrounding yourself with people that like are doing what you're doing, that you can learn from their accomplishments and their mistakes. And you said something there that was really important. Don't get with people who have already made it, or look for someone. First of all, because they're not gonna, majority of people who've already done it probably won't look at you like unless you're already in a personal relationship with them. But the beauty of that, what you're saying, is that when you see someone who's coming up, Jacob can attest to this, you'll see their mistakes as well.
You do.
And then you can learn from their mistakes, so you don't have to make them.
That's good. I love what you're saying right now, because what people don't understand is like somebody who's already out there, it will tell you regular mistake. Except if you super related to you, or if you really feel it to a certain level, that's gonna open up, because sometimes they don't have time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's always better to learn by watching than by just listening.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody can be down here. And when I'm saying down here, I'm not saying somebody that just didn't make it. It can make it big. Yeah. But we know the potential when you see somebody. There are people, when you look at them, you know, they're already people, like in my industry, for example.
Yeah.
You know, like this person, like, I would just tell you like about like my friend who I was close to. He dressed like a lot of NFL player, a lot of NBA player. But looking at him, you know the potential that he got. You know it's bigger than what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how it works. That's what I'm saying. Like somebody's just out there. The person, for example, that is my life mentor. He's not doing the same business that I'm doing. He gets different businesses. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's still my mentor, and I'm learning from him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can teach him a lot of things about what I'm doing, but he will teach me things that's gonna change the trajectory of my business in the business world.
Just
you know what I mean?
Just
exactly. Life in general. So the same thing as you say, people tends to fill up the gap to everything on social media. Get you a mentor. Do this, do that. You're gonna end up being overwhelmed. One thing you need to know: work on your craft. Learn as much as you can. You know what? Because the business you have, you're not the only one. I guarantee you that. Bring something that's gonna be different. Period.
Yeah. That's real. That's real. And I think people on their search to find their mentor, because it's like idolatry in a way. Like in the way it's spoken about in social media.
Yeah.
And I look at it and I'm like, if you're really committed, like you said, learning, if you're committed to the craft, you're gonna run into people who may be a mentor.
Yeah.
Or who may be a teacher, or who may teach you things. Like, that's a lot of my persons who taught me the most, I don't even know personally.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm gonna open a brush. Like a lot of people ask me usually, Abraham, how did you learn about your business? Come on, man. I tell people every time, one word: YouTube. What do you use YouTube for? Bro, I literally been in the University of YouTube, and I learned more than I could have learned at
Alumni.
school. You know, exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just sitting out there, talking to people, like bringing that to another level. I reach out to them on Instagram. We exchange. We become friends, like classmates. We're learning from the same professor. You know what I'm saying?
Dude,
and
that's awesome.
I learned so much that sometimes I sit out there. I have people who come to me making, like, I make them suits, I make them shoes, and you see them being close to big names out there, and they're like, nah, I just don't want to do from there. I want to do from you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying, man. Like, people just don't understand. Like, you know, it's all a process, and you just focus and you got it.
Dude,
that's
awesome.
about it.
YouTube. I love that analogy. The classmates, because I always hear it. You know, I go to school with YouTube, but saying class, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
but
okay, classmates, man.
Dude, so I thank you so much for telling your story.
Of course.
I think that's amazing, and I hope whoever's listening to this, even if you're not necessarily, you know, this episode is specific for people who are into fashion. I feel like you're gonna get the most out of it. But in business, a lot of things there to pick up. But I want to go into, you know, into your craft specifically.
Okay.
So for you, what exactly do you do? Because, you know, you hear stylists, you hear when I hear stylist as a cinematographer, I think a lot of different things.
Yeah.
I think people who just do wardrobe. I think maybe people who, you know, is it just the word stylist? There's a lot of different connotations. Hairstylist, there's a lot. So can you kind of expand on what you specifically do for your clients?
Okay, so like the way I view myself and what I'm doing is simple, right? So if I need to talk about Bramstash overall, Bramstash is a big like dream, like we're gonna take days here, right?
Yeah.
But there is like it's like a big thing. There is little umbrella, there is little doors, right? Now we're talking about the fashion side, where we talk about Bramstash custom clothiers, right?
Yes.
So I am a custom clothier. I am a menswear consultant.
Wow. Okay.
What I do is very simple. I meet with people who needs me for a service. I sit down with them. I listen to them. Literally my first like a consultation, when people like you reach out to me like, Abraham, I want a suit from you. Everything is my website. They go, they book their appointments, right? They pay a fee. We're just gonna sit down. We're just gonna chat a little bit, right? I'm gonna know everything about them.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
I sit down with you, for example, I know you own a business, you do this, you do photography, you know. So the reason why I want to know everything about them is to create something specific for them. What people don't understand, you go to a shop today, you go to Zara, you go to whatever shop you go, you pick a suit you put in your body, there is no history behind it. What I do, there is a history behind it, the fact where you go somewhere, you sit with me, you tell me you're a banker. I will never present you the same cloth I'm going to present to a like soccer player.
Right.
Because in the bank, you have a specific kind of approach, a specific kind of like dressing code that you have. A real estate agent is gonna be more flexible. I can play with little lapel, There is so many things in the suit. So when I sit with a person, I show them the fabric. We chat just a little bit. We're chatting. We're having a drink, and I kind of know them. And then now they tell me what they have in the wardrobe, and I build the wardrobe. That's why I don't really call myself stylist, because I know a lot of like great stylists out there.
Right.
Stylist is something that I do just as a plus, but not as a service. Like I don't make pay for that. I just do that because.
So what is the stylist? What is that?
So a stylist, when it comes to style, people don't understand that nowadays. When I see on social media, people wake up, they just, I'm a stylist.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it's a
like
very
people,
generic term.
Exactly. People use words that they're not supposed to use, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go deep in it. I know there is a lot of people who can talk better, like they can say better things about stylists about me. But people need to understand, when you're a stylist, you work close to Taylor, you work close to Clothier, you work close to these people, and you have your person, right? Let's just have a person who is named Brian. I'm gonna fit Brian. I'm Brian's stylist.
Got you.
Brian, tell me everything you want, and I'm working on Brian's wardrobe with a Clothier named Abraham.
Oh,
that's how it works.
Okay.
I'm gonna style him for every single occasion. For example, Brian played basketball. Now the team said they want this. I'm gonna style it for this occasion. You know what I'm saying? And usually I work close with stylists. I have a lot of my stylists, they reach out to me. They're like, Abraham, my clients need this. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And sometimes my clients, I help them to as a stylist, but it's not what I do. What I do is I produce garments from beginning to the end, and I'm a wardrobe architect.
So the stylist gets with the client. They tell them what they want. They go to you, and you actually make it.
Yeah, the stylists, they have a kind of different relationship with clients. Right, it's deeper than that. You know, they sit down, they talk, they just know them. Sometimes stylists, they know them for years. That's why a lot of like celebrities, they usually take stylist people they know closely, their aunts, their cousin, or their friends from wherever, because they know them for years. They know their style, they know their mood, they know the agenda, they know where he goes on the weekend, what he do. You know what I'm saying? And now this person come to me and just reach out to me every single time there is need.
Wow.
And all I do is I produce garments.
That's awesome.
And I produce garments according to the profession, according to the budget, according to the events they're going. All these things play together. You know what I'm saying?
Awesome. Yeah. So, okay, that's awesome.
I have a that's a lot.
That is a lot. No, and it reminds me a little bit of like you know, it's funny. I didn't know anything about weddings until I got married. I had no clue. And Sylvia knows, because she's like, you really didn't know there was this dance? And I was like, no, I don't know. I just don't know this stuff. But in the wedding space, there's like 300 roles that takes into this. So I kind of, that's how it is. It's like so many roles that matter in your thing. So here's what I want to do. I need help.
Talk to me.
I need help.
Talk
you
to
know,
me.
as you can see in the video, I got H&M. You know, I ain't really rocking the good stuff, you know. You know me. You know, I'm a creative entrepreneur. I have a podcast. You know, a little bit of background. For me, and we'll do this very quick. I don't want to go too in depth, but I think it'd be fun to go into it. How would you approach me? Like, in the sense, what would you think like I would like rock? Or what would you tell me, hey, this is for you. This is what you should do.
So the first thing is like to know you in a different level, where I ask you, what do you like about stuff, right? Now, when you tell me you like Abraham, I don't like, because people just don't like stuff because they don't like.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just never been in it. It's like somebody will tell you, I don't like to rock suit. What do you wear so? But you never really been inside the suits and feel like, hold on, I feel like something.
That's me. You're talking about me.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I've been in a suit once, and it was on my wedding.
Exactly. There is things like that. I have people that I fit, and they're like, I have like text messages. I have like messages. Sometimes I look at, I'm like literally like, you know what I'm saying? Because my thing is like, I'm just gonna open something really quick because I like to talk, as you can see.
Please.
So my other thing is like, we live in a generation where people, especially men, right? Men get overwhelmed a lot. We have a lot of things to do. Don't get me wrong. I feel a lot of women, so I have a lot of like women clients.
Yeah.
But I'm more focused on men. Men have a lot of things to do. Sometimes men don't pay attention to certain things that they're supposed to pay attention to, because we're growing in a society where they tell us, yeah, you don't do that. Just work.
Yeah.
And you see sometimes men who don't know certain things, but they're afraid to ask questions. And it leads us to another thing where you see a lot of men that don't have their confidence up just because of how they look. My purpose is not just selling suits. My purpose is selling a lifestyle. My purpose is building every single gentleman confidence all the way up.
Wow.
And I promise you, I've seen guys crying in front of me, how they look fine. Guys crying out, they went home, their wife tell you like, oh my God, I want to have another baby right now. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys, exactly,
you look good, but take it
a
off.
lot of guys, like I have a lot of guys, I feel I have like messages take me, I really feel like a mother, I really feel different about myself.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm going back to your question to answer that. Everything starts with what you like. It's like me, for example, I rock pocket square, but I don't really like it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even though I'm a suit guy, people think when they talk about me when I'm a suit guy, they just think like I'm gonna put you in a suit, put you in tie and all that. I don't just do that. Look at me today. Everything I have on my body is Bram Stach. But I have like literally sneakers on.
Yeah.
Except the socks is for like my partner in like Turkish.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you come to me, for example, I'll put you in sports coats easily.
Yeah.
I can put you in blazers. I can put you in sports coats. I can literally see like how you dress. I can put you in some like trousers that's gonna be different, gonna be stylish. I can put you in some Gurkha jeans too, because I make denim jeans too.
Whoa, wow.
Yes.
That's awesome.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can put you in things like that when you can pair with like a sports coat, and the next thing you know, you can just take it off. You have a white t-shirt inside, and you're more comfortable.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying, because of the lifestyle you have. Now, at the same time, I can throw some good garments. When I say good garments, some classic, some old, because I believe there is like fundamental like suit that every gentleman needs to have. A navy suit, you know, charcoal suits, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, you know, a mid-gray suits, a mid-gray trousers that you can pair here and there, you know what I'm saying? So like that's how I'm gonna do. If you come to me, I'm gonna put you in things that's gonna be super important for you, so you can add, like you can transition as separates. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't put in people like just a suit that you're gonna wear one time.
Right.
I don't do that. I'm trying to help you because my suits, they ain't cheap.
Yeah.
I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you to buy something
make the best
that's
investment.
Exactly, make the best investment and really enjoy your garments all the way up. You know?
That's awesome, and that shows a lot about you, man. Because I know, you know, I've seen from afar. Because again, you know how I dress. I don't like. It's not my Instagram feed. Isn't you know that.
You got it. Stop.
You know what I mean? No. Like when I search, my explore page isn't clothes. Like I just really, it's not like you said. Everything you described about men in society is kind of what I embody. That's like my thing. I work. I have a business I want to grow. I never really think about like how should I dress and all that stuff. So that don't really hit me. But you know, for me, I think that one of the things that I struggle with is when I think of somebody that can help me with that, or when I think of a tailor or something like that, I do have that kind of premonition of like, well, this guy's just gonna put me in a suit and tie, and I don't, as a person, I don't like it. So, what do you mean by, you know, when I put you in a suit, you don't really feel like you're in a suit? Because you said that, and that kind of intrigued me. Because another thing about me is, and I'm gonna shout out all my little overweight brothers. A lot of us don't enjoy it because it doesn't feel good. Is that a myth? Like if you're not in shape, you probably shouldn't wear a suit. What's your take on that? Because I want to learn that from you.
I really
this is for me.
First of all, listen, like this one gonna help a lot of brothers out there, right? You bring something super important. People tends to believe that because a lot of people go buy off the rack. Listen, an off the rack suit is a suit that's already made.
Right.
The suit is already made. They didn't think about you. They didn't know anything about you. Don't have any story with the suits. They make the suits. That's about it, right? The suit is right there. Now, when it comes to the custom wears, we have made to measure. We have bespoke suits. If I start explaining, it's gonna go super deep. The
Yeah,
only
yeah.
thing you need to know is like bespoke is the big brother, made to measure is
Got
kind of
you.
like the little brother.
Got
You know what I'm
you.
saying? As long as everything, the process, the money investment, and all of that, right?
Yeah.
Nowadays, especially with the time coming, especially with social media, we have so many made to measure houses where you will end up paying the kind of same price with an off the rack suit, maybe $100 more, but for better comfort. Now, when you go to a made to measure,
Yeah.
custom made salon,
Like
this
you.
is what I do.
Yep.
We take your measurements and we create a piece that's gonna be just for you. There is a name on that piece. No matter how big you are, no matter how tall you are, it's gonna be custom
Right.
made
Right.
to you. It's gonna be bespoken to you. You understand what I'm saying? So usually a lot of people go there, they buy off the rack thing, and the thing is like off the rack on everybody. You know, even on the skinniest guy. I have one of my friends is super skinny, but he have long arms. So when you wear garments, this one's
must be
gonna be
hard.
shorts.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So there is things like this because people need to understand we have like our body's shape are different.
Right.
And when you're in a custom made suit, sometimes I hide things in my client, they're surprised. I have one of my clients, he play like ball and he has this shoulder coming a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when I put him in the suit, everything looks straight. He's like, how you do that? I'm like, no, it's the balance because it's custom made. So I can see the little details that people don't see.
Yeah.
And I can hide that. So that's not a problem.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have a way I can create a suit for somebody who's short. It gives you the impression that he's taller. Just by creating a piece. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's like somebody who's big, don't need to worry about it.
Right.
Because the suit's gonna fit in perfectly, it's gonna feel different.
Yeah.
At the same time, the suit's gonna be custom made to you, you're gonna have a history with it. So if you check here,
Wow.
this is my baby boy. I created this piece for his birthday. You understand what I'm saying?
beautiful.
And when you look deep inside him, there is a story behind it.
Yeah.
You outside, you see the suits, but inside there is a whole story. You know what I'm saying?
Dude.
And that's the beauty of custom made.
Yeah.
You created piece like that, you do stuff like that that you can do. You're just having fun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's
That's so
beautiful.
awesome. That's beautiful. I love that. That's so
Yeah.
awesome. So I wanna talk a little bit about something a little bit different. But what's your take? Again, I don't get to talk to people who are in the like clothing and in that too often. So I'm gonna take full advantage of all the personal questions I have, and it relates to you, and you enjoy it. Awesome. But
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
For you, what do you think about? Because I've read a bunch of articles about this and what they call fast fashion. It's kind of what you were talking about, like
Yeah.
off the rack, like H&M, like people in my. I'm gonna be honest. Until I met you, and I met and I started really, developing my friendships or like. But when I was in high school and going into college, and I started college when I was young, I didn't know that. I knew there were tailors. I knew there were people that custom can adjust things to make things like fit you right and correctly the way it should. I knew that existed, but I always assumed that off the rack, that's just what you do, and then you go to a tailor to fix it, or if you want it to look a certain way. But for you, what do you think about? I don't know if that's what it's called. I've heard that term, fast fashion culture and stuff like that. What's your take on that? Do you think that's gonna I guess it's really the pricing of it, right? That gets people to want to do it. But what is your take on the whole fast fashion and market and industry?
Okay, so you brought up something really important. Just remember, we're gonna come back to the price. If I finish, just tell me, Abraham, the price. I'm gonna come back to that one because that's a really good thing, right?
I will.
I really think fast fashion, depending on I ain't gonna put any bad word on it. I think it's the devil. Fast fashion is nothing good, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm trying to sugarcoat. I'm like, it's the devil.
Yeah.
Because people don't understand. Fast fashion is just a term that they call
H&M,
they call it, right?
like that, yeah.
Now, when you look at the process, sometimes they can be fast fashion, sometimes they can't. You know what I'm saying? There are really people doing fast fashion out there.
Yeah.
Because I've been deep in this thing for a long time.
Right.
I ain't gonna put the name out there, but there is a lot of big fast fashion houses. The people who produce the garments, they have families. It's like people who do this thing, and you know how much they pay them? Maybe $20 to make hundreds of shirts.
Yeah.
For you to buy at the store for $20 and you're happy, you're like, oh, they do something good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There is people out there. There is families depending on what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? I work, for example, with this one, my shoes, I produce my shoes in Spain. I work with a family who've been the shoemakers for years. I have a beautiful relationship with them.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, why am I gonna produce everything for cheap just to attract everybody for me to make money? While there is people behind it that they have a tradition, they have an old culture. So the bad thing about fast fashion is they just don't educate people. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So people think nowadays that if I have clothes on my body, it's just clothes. No, clothes is an investment. The same way you pay your car notes, the same way you pay your house, the same way you need to treat your clothes.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, you need to invest wisely every single where you put a dime of your paycheck.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying?
Why?
I go back to, exactly, I love what you're doing right now because now I go back to price.
Yeah.
People don't understand something. I ain't gonna say the name of the place. I have a jean I used to buy from these big salon, like a fast fashion brands, known at the mall. I'll go at the mall every time, buy these pants, right? Every time I'll go in my place, like first of all, when I roll in my, in my kitchen, I have this thing, like, these chairs. I'll run in my eye chair. I'll always have like under my table, blue like thing on my wall, right? Every single thing, just because the pants was cheap, right?
Wow.
But the pants was costing me like, I think $33.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like in a year, I'll buy the same pants literally maybe 6 times. Same pair of jeans. Just think about it.
Yeah.
I spent $33. After tax, I go on 35 or whatever. When you do 35 times 6, let's just throw a number out there because I suck at maths. Let's just say it's like, my boy is
something.
Like, I don't know.
It's up there. I don't know.
Because let's just say now the pants you end up paying $200.
Wow.
For one pant over the year, right? Mm-hmm. Instead of paying $200, I promise you can just pay $150 one time on a pair of jeans. Gonna be amazing quality. That's gonna be dope. Gonna save you stress. Gonna save you time. Gonna save you energy. That's what I'm talking about, investment.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about fast fashion. People buy, but they don't realize they keep buying. They keep buying. They keep buying. They keep buying. You know what I'm saying?
That's real. I mean, yeah.
And I really think, like, when you think about it, just like a matter of education, people just don't know.
Yeah.
Now, when you know, you realize, like, oh no, that's kind of real. I promise you, a lot of people, when they're gonna hear this part of what I said, they're gonna be like, oh my god.
No,
that's true.
I'm dumbfounded
because the day I found out, I was like, hold on, what am I doing? I'm buying the same exact thing every single time. They're playing with me.
And it's so normalized because I know in my head that in about, like, I just got these jeans. I just got them. They're whatever. I don't, some place at a mall or something.
Yeah.
I know that in about 3 months,
you're gonna buy
have
another
to get
one. Exactly.
But when you do what you do, that's what you're saying by an investment, because you're gonna have it for a long time.
You're gonna have it for a long time. Exactly. Like suits that I make, sometimes like suits, it lasts like 15 years, 20 years. I have a culture, what I told you. I make suits if you check on my Instagram, I started doing that since my baby was born. When I found out that I had a baby, I did the lining. So every suit that I make, I have a collection for him. When he turned 18, I'm gonna give him.
That's awesome.
The suits, they're ready. You know what I'm saying? I'm just borrowing the suit for the moment.
That's a lucky kid, man. Because you know what my kid's getting? Is getting a photo camera every time he does anything.
Yeah,
I'm going to be that parent.
Yeah, that's good, though.
No, you're giving him suits.
We're both creating something, man. You're creating something. Yeah, that's good.
That is true. That is true.
That's good.
Man, so tell me a little bit about your shoes, man. How'd you get involved? I know you touched a little bit about the family in Spain.
Yeah.
How'd you get involved with doing shoes? Because I remember when I met you and I followed you, I knew you were a Clothier.
Yeah.
And then you posted one photo with, I think it was the thing inside the shoe that holds it in place.
Yes.
I was like, oh, shoe, man. Abraham's doing shoes now. It's game over. It's done.
Yeah.
Tell me, how'd you get involved in that? Like, what's that like? What's the process like? We'll start with just how you started.
So the process started with everything that I do is custom, right? I do everything custom from scratch, right? You produce every single thing from scratch. And I was producing a lot of garments. So I got blessed, as I told you, when I started business, it was like the pandemic. I was supposed to do my big release like in the beginning, like, March, like that was supposed to do my big release. And then the pandemic hits, right? So when everything hit, I started like being home now, finding new strategies. But God blessed me with a line of clients. Clients was coming from nowhere.
Wow.
I was even when I'm like, so these people buying suits from me, where they trying to go? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I was thinking like,
I was like, hold on, what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, when a lot of clients came, so one time one of my clients came, like a good dude, like a faithful client. So he came to me, I produced the suit for him. And it was pretty much like the same thing I told you when he started with the suit. He started asking me about shoes. So this guy was like, Abraham, this one right here, I don't know how I'm going to pair it. I feel I'm going to pair it with Clothier. I feel like, but he started talking to me. And he's like, but I don't know what company should I buy from, because I'm like, he was telling me literally, right?
Yeah.
It was like, because the kind of suit you put me on, I won't buy it. Cheap. I need to buy something. Bro, the way he was talking to me, I feel like, it's just like literally like God whispering things. I feel, I feel like something was happening. I'm like, oh my God, this guy literally just told me that I need to start. When he told me that, guess what I said? You buy that thing from me. It's like, you don't even produce shoes. I'm like, you will buy that thing for me. I'm like, give me 2 weeks.
Dang.
And the funny thing is, like, since I'm somebody I'm just super open-minded, I already had a relationship with the people who produce the suit without even talking to them, you know? And now when he told me, I'm like, I'm gonna try. I produced him the shoes. And that's
so
how
cool.
it started. And after that, like I just put out there on my Instagram that I produced shoes. So it just to sum up, it was the demands. The demands was and I was like, well, I'm gonna keep like, you know, like sending like people away when I can help them. That's how everything started. Yeah.
I want to stay on this for a second because, and this is I find learning about people's mindsets way more, you know, enlightening and than like the actual practical things that they do. It's funny, you said he asked you and right then and there you said, I can do it. And then in 2 weeks you got him a pair of shoes. I touched on this on my first episode with Ruben.
Okay.
I have never met a successful person who doesn't have that idea execution quickly mindset. And I asked Ruben this, I want to ask you the same thing. How did you get the confidence to just have an idea and do it? I've developed this mindset. I think I've always had it. I'm a very impulsive person. Whenever I thought about the podcast, I did the first episode a week later. When I thought about building a brand, not building a brand, building an agency, you know, I started talking to my friends and like, okay, let's get involved. Let's start doing this. That's in my nature, but I can never, I don't really know how to explain how it works. So I'm sorry if it's a hard question to answer. I'm sure you know the answer though, because you're very good with your words, unlike me. Where'd you get the confidence? Because it takes confidence to just be like right there in front of him. You're going to get it from me. Like, that's it. Where did you get that from?
You're right. That's a like super hard question, but I'm just going to try to sum up the thing. First of all, is like you get the confidence when you know what you're able to do, right? When you're capable of. That's the first thing, right? So when you know you can do something, that's when you know.
But you didn't do shoes before. That's why I'm asking.
That's where I'm going. Oh, okay. I didn't do shoes. However, I knew I can be able to do shoes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Why? Because I already studied the industry.
Wow.
Believe me, I don't do streetwear, but I have a lot of knowledge when it comes to streetwear. Why? Because it's the industry. You know what I'm saying? It's not my niche, but it's still the fashion industry. I need to learn as much as I can. You know what I'm saying? So I can just be ready as a person. Because the purpose is to educate the community at the end of the day. When it comes to the shoes, bro, it's literally like you say, it's just a confidence deep inside you. You know you're gonna make it happen. And that's come to open a bridge for something. When you have an entrepreneur mindset, you're just ready to take risk for certain things. The risk you take, a lot of people won't do that. And I don't know who I'm talking to right now. I just want to tell to somebody, don't get fooled by everything that's happening in social media, thinking that everybody called to own a business. You understand what I'm saying?
It's real.
If you have your 9 to 5, you're comfortable with it, you do your thing, keep doing your thing. We're not just called for this thing. Because this thing is tough. You know what I'm saying? And you know that.
Maybe that's what it is, bro. Because
exactly,
not everybody can do it.
It's not everybody who's built to take a risk. It's not everybody who's built to not only take a risk. Because I could have said that I'm going to do it, but not stand behind my word. You know what I'm saying? But if I say that and I was able to do that, it's because I have what come to what you said earlier. Networking, connection, and all these things. If I tell you I produce hats, you ain't gonna believe me. But I've been producing hats for many times because I have an amazing partner. He's like a hat maker here in Texas.
Wow.
He's been making hats for a long time. Shout out to you, Ben. You know what I'm saying with MCC. He'll be producing hats for a moment. So if I want hats, I'm gonna produce to him. You know what I'm saying? So I have every single tools. And earlier I told you I produce socks like from my partnership, you know? So that's just the idea. You can be ready for everything. And as soon as you say that, just make sure you stand behind your word. So if you can do that, just don't do that.
Don't even start.
Yeah, don't even start. Don't even you know?
That's huge. I got 2 things from that. 2 main things. One, you're prepared.
That's the word. Yeah.
I was born
ready.
You were born ready. You have a passion. But that was so. See, this is why I like talking to people because these are things that and even people listening, maybe that they know in the back of their head, but they haven't put words to it.
Yes,
you just did that perfectly. You knew that what you liked is suits. You like this is your niche.
Yes,
but you're still in fashion, and fashion is a bigger thing. So you decided, you know what? I'm gonna learn every little ounce of everything, just in case. And just I'm pretty sure, and correct me if I'm wrong, it wasn't even a just in case you need to do it. It was you were just passionate. You just wanted to learn how to do it.
Yes.
Right?
That's all it takes. It takes passion, but it takes some other thing. It takes like I'm a baby when it comes to learning. Bro, I promise you, I can sit down with you right now. You're talking. I'm just sitting down like a stupid kid. I'm listening everything you're saying. That's how I am. That's how I'm built, right? And you can ask me right now, Abraham, take a picture of this one. I'm gonna be like, how did you learn that? Just by looking at you doing things. That's how I am. So it put me in a position where to be prepared for anything that can happen. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's how every single entrepreneur needs to prepare themselves if they're not already like that. You need to be ready to go.
So it's the preparation. You know be ready to be able to attack when you need it.
Exactly. And that's what happened with, like you said something early when you say like YouTube is your thing, you know? Even what you're doing, bro. I promise you, like this is like a big thing. I promise you, I watch things you do and I always tell to people, you be doing crazy stuff, bro. I see a lot of people do stuff that you do, but they do it the bad way. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them just have views, a lot of them things you do. Sometimes I see you edit stuff. Remember one time you edit one of my pictures, you said to me, I'm like, how do you do it? I was like, you know, I was wondering, I'm like, how this guy do it? You know what I'm saying? It's like something that looks simple, but it's like so simple to you, but it's so hard. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you know what you're doing. And you know how you're doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Dude.
So yeah.
Thank you so much.
Of course, man. I had to tell you that.
But the preparation, that was the one thing. But then the networking. This is a topic that I want to hit with every guest.
Okay.
Because, you know, something I struggle with. I mean, the nature of my craft is very, at least in the very first level, I'm getting to the point where networking matters. But at the very first level, it's very like hermit, like very like you're just in your room and you're learning little things, YouTube. You're like, I don't need to know, you know, Jacob to make a graphic. I don't need to talk to you to make a video, at least to actually produce it. You know what I mean? But I feel like for you said you have a lot of people that you're already in the industry that you know that you need, that you use to make hats for your clients, the shoes, the people in Spain and stuff like that. And we'll come back to the shoes, but you know,
I see you like the shoes.
These are mine. I like these a lot. But no.
Yeah.
You know, for you, how important is networking in business in general, but specifically for you?
Yeah. So like, to be honest with you, networking today is like, in my opinion, it can't even be like way better than every bachelor degree at this point. You know what I'm saying? Because the good connection will put you places a master degree will never put you.
Wow.
A master degree will give you the comfort of having a paycheck every single time. But the good connection will make you sit with kings. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It will open you opportunity of things that you never dream of in every single area. I'm just gonna give a little things, right? Like for example, right now, tomorrow I'm going to Atlanta, Georgia. I'm gonna be in Atlanta, Georgia tomorrow. My ticket is paid off. Everything is paid off. You know why? Just because I network with one person, happened to be that it was the cousin of another person. All of them want suits from me. So they're like, okay, instead of you just making, why we don't fly you here? You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be with them and I have other clients I'm gonna fit. It's all through networking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, in the business sphere, it's super important because it's gonna help you for a lot of things that you don't know. We don't know everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Networking will help you in that level, in that sense. At the other side, your clients are out there. They're sitting, chilling. All they want to do for you to come network with them.
Wow.
I have something that I do. A lot of people think is crazy. I have one day during the week. The pandemic really like killed a lot of vibe because I had planned for But I have this thing that I do. I have like networking day. So I have in my calendar, in my planning, I have one day in the week. I always pick a place to go for happy hour. To go meet people.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I go by myself. I have my card in my pocket. I just go, I sit, I meet people.
Wow.
I give my card a hand. That's potential clients out there.
Dude, I'm
you know what I'm saying?
I'm stealing that. I'm doing that tomorrow. Do that. I'm doing that.
I have like,
and everybody who's listening better do that because I don't think people just, dude, that's so simple.
You see the bad thing we have nowadays with people don't understand how networking is. So I know there is a lot of people out there, they're listening, they're super timid, they don't know how to be around people. I understand that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But just find a way you can be in contact with people. Yeah. Sometimes it can be on social media. Sometimes nowadays there is apps for that where you can connect with friends. Yeah. You know, just Clubhouse or whatever, just connect with people as much as you can.
Yeah.
Especially if you own a business, you just want to put your name out there. Yeah. The only way to put your name out there is through networking.
Right.
You know why? Because sometimes the person you network with, he may ain't gonna be able to afford your suits. He may ain't gonna be able to buy your service, to buy your product.
Right.
By with his word of mouth, you can get 10 people who are gonna buy the double of what is your basic price. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how it works, and it's to networking. So just to sum up, for me, networking is one of the big things. And to be honest, it's one of the big fuel to my business, because everything starts with networking. Even today,
Wow.
if I'm living, like I'm talking about, like sitting home, like living like every day out of a paycheck coming from like your business, you know, feeding a family, that not easy, is also networking, bro.
Wow, that's awesome. And it's funny you said, I'm clipping this, I'm posting this. You said a master's degree can get you a check, but a net connection can get you with kings. Something along
Make you
those
sit
lines.
with kings, bro.
So that networking is the most important.
Correct.
Can we agree on that? Aside from, I always say this, I was like, you can know whoever, but if you're not good at what you do, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
I promise you.
You
can
think so?
like, yeah, no, what do you say?
I said networking is important.
Yeah.
I just said that networking, you know, it doesn't matter if you're not good at what you do.
I mean, I think so. Networking sometimes will put place, sometimes you're not good at what you're doing. Bro, I know a lot of people out there. I'm just gonna put it out there.
Yeah.
Sometimes I check the NBA because I like to watch the NBA when, like, you know, like
Yeah.
the players working.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
I look at them like they look like clown. You know what I'm saying? And you're just gonna check. I'm just gonna be curious, check like the blogs and see who's the designer. I'm gonna be, this is stupid. You know what I'm saying? I promise you.
Say their name right here.
Sometimes you see a lot of creative direct. I'm gonna say that you see a lot of like Balenciaga, all this brand. I'm just gonna say what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Sometimes you look at the shoes, it's stupid. You know, it's ugly.
Bro, I'm so glad
You know
you're
what I'm
saying
saying?
it, because
I
when
would
I
say
say it,
that.
people call me stupid.
No. It is. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? People will buy it just because of the name.
Yeah. 'cause
But
of
they
the
will never
connection,
come by.
'cause of the network.
Exactly. Like, just because the connection, guess what? Oh, this celebrity wear the same thing, I'm gonna wear it. And the person, like, I'm gonna tell you, like, for example, when it happened with like the presidency election thing or whatever, what happened, like, you know, Kamala Harris, she got a beautiful dress. Michelle Obama got a beautiful dress. The moments, man, the designer who make those dresses, they've been in the business, they've been in the industry, but the way people talk about it at that moment, you know what I'm saying? It was crazy. Guess what happened at that moment? It was just networking. Sometimes it takes one person to tell to the,
real.
you know? It's like one day we're going to take one person to take to the president, hey, there is somebody doing Bram Stash, you know, he needs to wear suits.
Yeah, dude.
He didn't say
I
man to that
believe
one.
it. It's going to happen, dude.
Hey, man.
You know, I'll do it. He probably won't listen to me. But
That's how it works. It's
Yeah.
just like one person going to say one thing and it's also networking.
Yeah.
Networking is like amazing. But it's true that there are some brand out there, they're just doing like some stupid stuff, but just because of the right connection,
That's
you know?
wild. Because I never thought about it. Because I told Ruben in the first episode, I was like, yeah, you can know whoever, but like if they go and they see your website and you're trash at what you do, you're not gonna get. But I do see a lot of people, even in my industry, that.
But now this is the thing people don't know though.
Yeah.
So networking will bring you somewhere, right? You're gonna sit there, you're gonna present your products, they're gonna wear it. But your hustle, your crafts, gonna keep you there. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's gonna keep you there. And now when you go to another level, it's gonna be your personality that's gonna keep you there. I have a lot of clients, they come, they go, but they always come back. Sometimes they'll tell me like, I just vibe with you, you dope, bro.
Yeah. That's
I just
real.
want to, you know what I'm saying? That's how it
That's
works, because your
real.
personality is gonna keep you out there, you know?
Yeah.
So people just don't get it twisted when it, like people come to networking, I have the right connection, I address this person, like it's all good. But you need to put yourself in some good work.
Yeah.
Make sure when your name, because you need to be ready, bro. You never know what happened. There's people out there like in every single sphere. There's people out there that were never ready. The next thing you know, they're the biggest politician. The next thing you know, they're the biggest singer.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why I always tell people, when you're undergrounds, work as much as you want to work, as much as you can, but also learn. Because the good networking will expose you, but make sure you keep the same level, you know?
Yeah.
And you need to work for that.
Because exposure works both ways.
Bro.
Exposure can be really good,
It can be really bad too.
really bad.
Yeah, it can be really bad. It brings it to depression. People laughing at your craft. They're like, what is this doing? Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's real.
Exactly.
That's real. And so we touched a little bit how important it is to network.
Yes.
You gave us an amazing strategy. Just go happy hour and just talk to people.
Just go happy hour, go grab coffee, go do this kind of thing. Don't feel like you socially awkward. We live in a society when you do that by yourself.
Yeah.
Nah,
What are some
I don't
other?
care. I do that by myself. I try
Yeah.
to get this break. What you mean? I do that.
Yeah.
When you go to university, when you study for your exam, you do with people. You study by yourself in the bathroom.
Exactly.
Like, you're trying to pass the exam. Going to network is an exam for you. Just go there, do your test.
Dude,
You know what I'm saying?
that's real.
When
So
you're gonna get the bread, you're gonna understand.
what's another way? What are some other methods? No. Because I'm
My
with
guy is
you.
like, hold on. What is another way?
No. I'm just saying that
Yeah.
because that's a really important thing. I told you
Yeah.
I'm going to use it. I'm going to do that. I believe that in-person stuff, I'm in marketing, I'm in advertising. I don't believe that social media is the best place to network. I think that the best people, the best clients I've ever had, the best clients that are paying my bills today are people who I've met organically in person.
Yes.
Like I met somebody the other day at the coffee shop getting coffee. She saw me with my camera. I was buying a lens from a friend, and she was like, "Oh, you guys photographers?" I was like, "Yeah." And those little like serendipitous moments are very important. But what are other ways that people can network? Because maybe it is true. There are some people who maybe are a little scared, at least to that level. You got to be a certain level of confident.
Yeah.
But what are some other ways aside from social media? Because I feel like that's oversaturated. Like Gary Vee, I love Gary Vee, but he says this. He's like, DM 100 people a day and something like that. And it's like, you know, it gets to a point where like social media can only get you so far. But what are some other ways outside of social media and that amazing idea that you've used to network or find connections that worked for you?
Okay, so the thing is, like, I'm just gonna go back to the Gary Vee idea. Actually, I heard that one, and I've been applying that before, like, you know, for like a long time. Yeah, exactly. We all been doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, my boy is like super dope. Sometimes he say things like he's just the first person who said, I'm like, wake up, Gary. Like, yeah. So like when it comes to that, that's a good strategy. That one, for example, I've been using that because I have a lot of international clients. They're like, you know, like tomorrow I'm gonna send one of the shows to one of my clients in Nigeria. I have a lot of clients, you know, like in the Congo, I have a lot of clients, you know, like I have a lot of clients everywhere in Europe, stuff like that. And it's like through, of course, social media because I can't see them, right?
Right.
And now there is another one where I say when you go meet them and you go do all this stuff. There is another one where it comes to, you just need to know what you're doing. You know what you're doing so much where you're just like presenting in a way or another. I'll give you an example, right? This is a bottle of water, Ozarka. My name is Abraham Ozarka. You know what I'm saying? If this one is bottled water, I can expose this bottle of water every single where to the point where people are going to ask questions about the bottle of water. They're going to have to Google the bottle of water. They're going to have to go on Instagram, find a way to know why I keep seeing this bottle of water here. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's another strategy that I used to do where I'll have my box of business card.
Yeah.
And I'll go places where I know people have interest in what I do.
Wow.
Bro, Venture X, like all these places, like, you know, like industrious, like places like that. I just go there, I drop my card, and I go.
Yeah.
When I do that, usually I talk to the person who live, like, you know, like at the reception, something like that. A casual conversation, super nice. I just drop my card again. I promise you I had a lot of clients like that because when they're going to see the cards, it's not like, it's a beautiful card. They're going to check it and they're like, what is that? You know, something attract them and they just Google and they're like, oh, I check your card, I see your card. You know, there is a lot of strategy like this, but everything will depend on what the person do. You know what I'm saying? Me, for example, Manish, I go back to what you said earlier when you say like a lot of people, for example, they don't want to talk. They, you know, they like, you know, we say like they can be shy, you know, stuff like that. For example, what I do, I love to talk. I love to talk to people, but sometimes I don't talk. I just sit down, I just dress. Bro, I promise you, I get compliment every time. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who passes like, oh my God, I love this.
Yeah.
And that's how everything starts. All of my best clients, I get them like this. So you can put in a position where sometimes you don't need to talk, but you just present what you're doing, you know?
Yeah.
So it just depends on the business to another, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer, and I wasn't, because like I said before, when I first started, I was just learning, practicing in private. You know what I mean? But I am a firm believer that, like, the way you said it earlier, personality matters. It's what keeps you there.
A lot.
It's what you can get this person, but if you're a jerk, no one wants to work with you.
Exactly.
And it's funny because I don't know. I hope that you felt this when we went on our photo shoot. But I always, every time I have any sort of interaction with my business, with anybody, like at a shoot, for example, one of my goals, aside from doing my job, is to make the person laugh. At least 80% of the time.
Yeah, that's except making my job.
Besides doing my job, obviously. You know, because I think for me, that's kind of that's my personality. I mean, I like making people feel good and like making people laugh, making people do that. That's my thing. And I've noticed ever since I made that a priority to like how I make people feel when I'm doing whatever I'm doing with them. I mean, you know, it's just worked.
Correct.
People, like you said, you can be really good at what you do, but there's a lot of people who are in positions just because someone liked them.
Exactly.
Because someone said, oh, you're a cool person, you're dope, you're awesome. And I don't know, I just feel like if anybody's listening here and you're like, man, even if you're unsure or you're unconfident in your craft or what you can do, if you're a photographer, if you're somebody who wants to come up and start learning how to make clothing and stuff like that, dude, just focus first on being a good person.
Yes.
I said it before.
That's good. That's good.
I said it in another episode. I was like, dude, if the more that you're nice to people, the more you'll get nice people back.
Exactly. And the more people will understand how much you care. Because you bring me your service.
Yeah.
What really make me, like, what gonna make me believe that you really care about what you're doing? You know what I'm saying? You're like, oh, I'm gonna take your business to another level. What gonna make me believe that? Not your word.
Right.
I'm gonna see about how you interact with me. You know what I'm saying? How you see me. And that's why I told you one of the things that I told you in the beginning. The first meeting, my client and I, we don't talk business. Sometimes we're gonna sit there. I just trying to learn them.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
And sometimes they sit down. They're like, "Hold on, what am I doing here? We're gonna spend 30 minutes. We're just like talking, you know, chatting, you know." And then now I know more about them, where I'm gonna be if they want to do that right now. We just keep going.
Wow.
If not, we go let it. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole purpose. You want to be like. That's what people don't understand. Like this business world is like more about like the service we're providing to people. It's all a relationship. It's all a family. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Because the person you're meeting, they need your service right now, but you need the service for something else. You know, next week when I come back, I'm talking to one of my clients who are real estate agents. He's trying to put me in a connection. We're going to deal. We're going to check. Like, so I'm trying to get a house very soon. I'm going to sit down with him, learning from him. Yeah. Some people do that. They pay somewhere to do that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just for the casual relationship that we have. You know what I'm saying? It's the same way with you. We did amazing photo shoot before we work. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's how it works. Yeah. So it's like more than just like, you know, the business fair. There is a relationship behind it. And let your personality speak and be a good person. That's good. That's big.
People say this X is a people's business. People say that about ministry all the time. This is a people's business. But no, every business is a people business because at the end of the day, you're giving something to somebody. Correct. And it matters. And I feel like for me, I fell into this trap. You know, my formative years, I've grown up in this era where entrepreneurship is sexy, and it's people want to do it, making money. You know, it's like nobody puts. At least in the social media sphere, what I listen, like I said, YouTube's my thing. When I hear people, the win is never, I made this person laugh today, or I made this person like actually like me. Yeah. Like it's always like, this is how I drop shipped and made $20,000 in a day of doing Amazon. And I'm like,
don't go that way because now we want to talk too much, bro. Like that thing, I'm down with that thing.
I don't get it, but that's the thing, and that's why I want to emphasize on this, because if there's other people who I would assume are as young as I am, who are still learning. This is why I'm doing this, because the podcast, blah, blah, blah. But I've learned more about the people that I've interviewed in the hour that we've interviewed than I've learned in my years of knowing them.
Correct.
I'm learning so much about you. Yeah. And so I just want people to understand, like, when you hear this, it's not like, yes, money matters, but you'll even start to realize when all your stuff is taken care of, when you don't have to stress about your bills or your rent or your all that stuff, because it's your business is doing that stuff. Yes. You start to realize what really matters is the people and the connections and the talking and the relationships. And I just feel like not a lot of people are saying that, and it sucks, because I grew up, I started learning, I started past businesses that I wanted to do with the intent of just making money, and because I thought that, and that never works, by the way. If you ever go into a thing with the intent of making money, you're just not gonna last, and you're just gonna suck, and it's not gonna be good.
That's why I always tell people, money is there. That's true. Don't get it twisted, bro. Yeah, money is there. However, just take money as a plus.
That's a great way.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's a great way to say.
Money needs to be a plus. Money don't need to be the first purpose, because money will never keep you out there. Yeah, money will be there. Money will never keep you out there. The only thing that's going to keep you working days, night, is your passion. Wow. You understand what I'm saying? Because money going to be there today, but you know how it works. Sometimes you have, like, on January, for example, I had 2 clients. Never happened since I started my business. I'm talking about 2 clients all month. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If it was just the money, I would have top out. I wouldn't go look for a job or something like that. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? But the moment that you know the passion is there, I keep working. February was one of my best months. You understand what I'm saying? I make like bigger sale. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Until this day, I'm making big sale. Why? Because the passion keep going. That's what people need to understand. And we're living in a world, especially a lot of young folks, like they just have this picture of like, I own a business, everything is beautiful, everything is elegant, everything. Nah. You know what I'm saying? About it. Like, don't get it twisted. Don't look at social media. Everything looks cool. It's just like I wear my suit. I'm just all cool. You don't know how like we cry at night. How we just like walk around like just to look for like a way to make like something different when it comes to the business. You understand what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like there is like more than all these things, and I think it needs to expose people in a way where they build their character, they build their personality so hard. Then when they expose and then when they want to put their feet out there, they're ready for a lot of things, man. It takes work. It's not just the money. The money is just a plus.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, that's why a lot of business close. With the COVID, we've seen that. I've seen a lot of business close because they were not ready.
Every
a lot of
restaurant
business
right
shut
here.
down.
Every restaurant.
See?
Done.
Bro, I've seen like big shooting like in my industry, big beasts shutting down. Dude. I'm like, oh my God. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why? Because it was all about the money. That's what I'm saying. I open it. You see, sometimes you see a lot of people who do like you see a lot of Clothier. You look at him, he don't know how to dress personally. He don't know how to dress people. He don't know, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's bad.
No,
but it's bad for his industry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you see a lot of photographers there like doing pictures like the person become yellow. Like I'm like, what did you do to me? I'm like, you know, this blue, how you call them, the movie, like the blue.
The tint?
That was named, this movie that went crazy. Like people were blue. Like
oh, yeah.
Avatar,
Avatar. Okay.
One time this photographer sent me a picture, I'm just an avatar. I'm like, I'm like, what's wrong here? You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
So that's how it works. Like people just need to understand. Like it's bigger than like just the money. You need to work. Like, you know, you need to make something different because, man, passion will keep you out there, bro.
That's real.
Yeah.
Someone made your skin blue?
Bro, like you sent me the picture, was proud of himself. Believe me. Boy was proud of himself. I look at my picture, I was blue.
Dude, how? Like,
bro, my lips was purple. I'm like, hold on, what happened here?
How do you even do that? You have to mess with it so much for it to be blue. Because your skin is naturally not even close to that.
In a way, you know, it was so bad in a way that I become the photographer. I started editing everything. I was sending those pictures. 5 apps. I'll send the picture that I be dead. And you know the kind of people, we work with a client. Sometimes the client's just waiting on those pictures. I was like, I'm gonna post something. And it was in my beginning, you know, like on my visa, I'm like, I'm gonna post something. Bro. I end up being blue, bro.
Oh, hey, my friend Jacob here. He'll get you right. He won't make you blue.
Or make me purple or something like that.
That's wild, man. So, man, that's awesome. I've loved this whole conversation we've had.
I love it, man. I love it.
This has been a lot. I want to give you some space here.
Okay.
To talk about what we have right here.
Okay.
So, you know, I don't know much, so I'm just gonna say a little bit. But you wear Clothier. You started Bram's Touch. That's how it started. You've gone into shoes in the last year, right? If I'm correct. You started creating shoes. They're amazing. The quality in these shoes. If you're not watching the video and you can't see the shoe right now, like this is some like, and you know I'm holding the sneaker. That one over there, that's something else, bro.
That's some beast right there.
But this is like legit, like the sole. Like this ain't just something you ship from China. You know what I mean? Like this is some legitimate stuff. So talk about a little bit about where they can get this, how they can get it, how they can contact you, what you can do for them. Talk a little bit about that. I want people to know how they can reach you to support your business.
So if you watch this podcast from the beginning, if you hear my voice, you already know I'm nice. Don't be afraid to contact me now.
Yeah.
The way you work is pretty simple, right? I have my website, www.bramstash.com. You go there, you book an appointment. Easy. When you book an appointment with me, again, I reach out to you in the next 24 hours. I contact you with chats, and I know how to serve you, right? Now, the way it works is like one thing I need to put out there. People always have the impression when you talk about suits, oh my God, it's so expensive. I can't afford it. I can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Please, because I have that impression too.
It's like I work in a way where I put every single budget out there just to help every single people. Why? Because I was a passionate student loving suits. But I was a student. I didn't have the money to afford any suit. But I was in love with suits. And I was doing the same way that I would go to like vintage store, buy a suit and just make the alteration stuff like that, you know. So I know there is a lot of students out there that can't afford the suit. So I found a way to make it affordable to everybody.
Wow.
My entry level suit is $6.99. I'm just gonna put it out there, you know. So the quality and everything you're gonna get for that price is unbeatable. You know what I'm saying? You will not see like a lot of big houses out there. They just put name, they just lie to you, they just make you buy the suit because they don't care. But I'm in a process where I care a lot about my clients. In a way where I have even students where I create a program for them, they can make payments.
Wow.
When it comes to, you need to be like,
that's awesome.
You need to be a student, show me your car, stuff like that. I can help them out that way if they really need a suit. High school student.
Yeah.
I do stuff like that, right? So just to go back, like the way I do that, we gotta see it, we create stuff, and everything is custom made from beginning to the end. And here I have a sneaker. Every gentleman need a pair of white sneakers.
That's facts.
You need that. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And I have this one. I have every single line. I have every single color.
Wow.
Of this and that. I have more than 300 different design of shoes that I already produced. If we need to talk about shoes. If we need to talk about suits, bro, I have more than 3,000 fabric swatches. I work with all the best mills. I'm talking about all the mills in mills is like the company we work with. They provide Clothier. Yeah. I work with like Italy and England because I love them. Yeah. And here you can like customize your name.
Yeah, look at
you see right here?
Yep.
You can put your name out there. I put like people's name. I play with it, and you need this goods you're welted, bro.
That's real, man.
This ain't, bro. Don't be shy.
This ain't Old Navy, baby. This is some good stuff right
man.
Here. Yeah, it's awesome.
You know what I'm saying? It's a steak, medium rare. You understand what I'm saying? Looking at me,
yes, sir. I saw you went to eat at his restaurant.
Oh
yeah,
bro, lovely, bro.
I was
there in the
jealous.
grand opening. Oh.
That looks so
because I went there in Miami twice when I was for work, but it wasn't there. They've been doing that, but it's different. So as soon as they open here, the grand opening, I went there, bro. Dang. Like doing that means I'm like.
That's actually where you made the shoe.
Exactly. Put some salt in it, like
you're the salt bay for shoes.
Yeah. So when it comes to shoes, so that's the one, and I have different varieties. So another thing is like people don't know when it comes to suits, they only have the impression that they need to have the suit style. For example, my barber is one of my clients when it comes to vests. My barber just rock with vest and jeans. Yeah. I have a lot of clients that just produce like trousers for them. They don't wear suits. Wow. I have a lot of people that just produce jackets. A lot of people just produce shoes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Some people just produce shirts. So I have every single thing. So that's why I'm saying a lot of people don't need to get afraid when it comes to that. Yeah. There is a lot of things. There is food for everybody at the table.
Exactly. Yeah.
Everything you need, we're going to produce it. And the way I produce it is like all custom made. And it takes 3 to 6 weeks, usually production for everything. Yeah. And it come at the door. So everything is digital. I have even I have apps. I have on my website where you sit in the house. You design every single thing. I'm talking about like, you start at the lapel, you pick your button, you put your fabric, you pick your shoulder, you pick your functional, you make it functional like that where you can do like this. Dang. You pick every single thing, you make your lining. I work on 6 weddings this year already, bro. Dang. 6 weddings. When I'm moving to Atlanta, one of the guys is getting married too. So a lot of my clients, when they get married, I put like the lady name here, Yeah. When you go here under the collar, you see that?
Wow, that's awesome.
So it's stuff like I do. So it's like all the custom making. It's like a full experience, and it's pretty fun. That's awesome. You don't know till you make it, till you sit down and start doing that, you're gonna be like, it's fun. Yeah.
Do you think I could rock a suit?
I do though. Like, believe it or not, everybody can rock a suit. Yeah. Everybody. Don't get it. Like, everybody can rock a suit. A suit is a mood, man. Like, wear a suit, work on the streets, see how many compliments you get. Wow. I promise you wear a suit, you work on the street, you get at least 3 compliments. You wear a Bramstad suits, you walk on the street. Boy, you're about to get 10 compliments. Like, I'm telling you, trouble,
compliments, man. 20 numbers.
20 numbers, that's dead. Listen, brother, I'm talking to a brother who's single out there trying to get married. Come on. Don't pray too much. Oh, Jacob, come on, yeah? Don't pray too much. Get a Bramstad suit. Damn. Marriage next year at the same time. Sheesh. That's how it works. You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
Yeah, that's how simple that thing is. Yeah. So I think everybody can rock a suit. And it just depends now to your taste. Like, if you want to rock a suit, because people don't know, again, when it comes to suits, it needs to be the same production. I'm talking about the same cloth, the same color, the same everything. That will make it a suit. People nowadays, they're like, oh, this is a suit, this is not. You know what I'm saying? There is it's super diverse, and everybody can rock a suit. Yeah. And now when it comes to how you prefer it, you have like your way you prefer suits. Like me, for example, I like all my jackets to be double-breasted. I wear single-breasted, so now it's just all about the taste. Right. Some people like 2 buttons. Some people like 3 buttons. Some people like double-breasted 4 buttons. Some people like 6-on-1. Some people like 6-on-2. Yeah. There's all these little things and usually when I sit with my clients, I'm making my biggest interest to educate them as much as they can. Wow. I will let them know. I'm like, asking me all the questions you have in your mind about suiting. I'll let you know. And I doubt that there is something that I don't know, because I learn a lot when it comes to that. If I don't, I'll send you to my teacher on YouTube. Yeah. I'll be like, hey, professor.
Dude, that's awesome. Well, it's been a pleasure. It's been a vibe. I've seriously, I got so much from that. I didn't know all about how you started and, you know, how you come from the Congo and Paris. I don't know you're from Paris, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was.
But yeah, man. So it's been a pleasure for real talking to you. Aside from the podcast, just us chatting. Yeah. One of the biggest things of this podcast that I've wanted to do is, and I was telling Sylvie this the other day. I was like, dude, like, how many times can you legitimately ask somebody, let's get coffee for an hour and a half, and then be like, oh yeah, I'm free. Like, I tried doing that with a lot of people, but it's hard with schedule. So it's nice to have a platform to where people can come and I can actually just have that conversation with you anyways. So thank you. I feel honored that you were here. If you need him on social media, where can they get you? On Instagram, it's Bram's Touch, right?
Yes.
At
so
Bram's Touch.
Just so you guys know, so Bram's Touch, it's my Instagram. So I don't know if I need to spell it because my accent can be thick sometimes. So BRAMSTOUCH.
Yep.
Exactly. You got it
there.
Right there.
Yep.
Everywhere. So Bram's Touch. That's my IG. And our business page, like my team handle my business account is Bram's Touch CC as Custom Clothier. And the website is like bramstouch.com. And what else? If you want to reach out to us, you can DM us on both Instagram. I think it's good. Or you can send an email at info@bramstouch.com. We got you. And let's do this thing.
Perfect, man. Well, y'all hit him up for real. He's going to get you right. If he hasn't convinced you by this whole podcast to, you know, contact him, I don't know what's going to convince you because I'm going to contact you because, you know, who knows? Maybe in the next episode, I'll come a little dripped out.
Exactly. You know? That would be dope, actually. Come on, dripped out. Be like, cool, look what Bram Stouch did.
Bro, let's do it.
All right, but at the same time, I really like, thank you. It's a pleasure. And I love what you're doing. Like, since day one, I told you that I love what you're doing. And one thing, talk about what you do. I'm going to tell you something. One thing that you do that is different than a lot of people, bro. I've seen you when you start your business. The professionalism that you have is key. Dude. I promise you that.
Thank you.
Never let that thing go. That's key because I was super, like, bro, you're professional, man.
Thank you, man.
You know what I'm saying? I work with a lot of people in your industry. You're professional. Not only the work is amazing all this time, but you professional. Dude. And you know what I'm talking about. So keep your head up. I know your name gonna be big in this industry, bro.
Well, I'm just trying to get a suit from you, man. I know I made it. I know I made it if I can get a suit from you.
Okay, Abraham, I got you.
I got you, man. No, thank you
so much for inviting me.
Well, thank you everybody for listening to this podcast.
Thank you so much, everybody.
I'll see you next week.
One love.
Love you, bro.
My man.